Hello friends, welcome to this video. So in this video we will actually talk about how to actually make this random captcha generator inside browser using HTML and JavaScript. So if you refresh, this will be the actual interface you will see on your screen. So here you will actually have this captcha. Here you can enter the random characters. You will see that here you need to enter the captcha. If you enter incorrect captcha, click on check. You will see this message, try again. If you enter the correct captcha, let me enter the correct captcha right here, D76DE3. Click on check. You will actually see this is actually a correct captcha, and we can click on this generate new button to actually generate a new captcha. Every time when we click this button, a new captcha will be generated, and now we can actually solve this captcha by writing the correct characters and clicking on check, and you will actually see correct based upon the answer given. So I will show you how to build this random captcha generator inside browser for completely free. We will not be using any third-party library. We will just be using some methods inside JavaScript. So all the source code that I will use in this video is given in the description. So do check out description if you want the full source code. So in order to get started, you just need to create a simple index.html file. And now I will write this code step by step. So now to get started, we will first of all make a simple index. We'll simply say random captcha generator. And now for building this, first of all, we do need a div tag, and inside this you will put a wrapper class which we will style it in the CSS. After this we will actually have a h2 heading. We will give it an ID to it of status, whether the captcha that you submit is correct or not, and we will basically, the color of this status will be this color, EE7 E6A. So it will actually show whether the user submitted correct captcha or not. And here we will allow the user to submit the captcha, input type text, and it will only be for read-only purposes, and give an ID to it of generated captcha. So here the user can only see the captcha, it cannot change the captcha. That's why we provided this attribute read only. So the reader can't write in this input field, reader can only read it. So after this we will have another div. This time here the user will write the actual captcha, input type text, and we will give it an ID to it as well, entered captcha. We'll simply give it a placeholder that enter the captcha. So after that we will be having a button type button, and it will simply say to the user check captcha. So if you basically refresh the browser, it will look something like this. Now we need to simply style this using custom CSS, and we do need to initialize a on-click listener. So when we click this button, we will execute this check function, which will actually check the captcha. And now in the JavaScript, we will have another button right here just below this. This one will be responsible for generating a new captcha. So generate new button will be there, and again it's a button type button. And when we click on this button, we will create a function which is generate, which will generate a new captcha for us. We will give it an ID to it of gen. So right here, now to generate a new captcha, we will create a captcha variable, and then for generating the captcha, we will basically use all the alphabets which are available on the keyboard, including capital letter A, then small letter. So it will be a combination of all the letters which are present on the keyboard. We will simply create an alphabets variable holding all these characters, and then we can console log the character length, how many characters are there. I think it's 27, and from these 27 characters we need to generate a random captcha every time. So we will get reference to the status element. We have given this ID here of status, whether the user entered captcha is correct or not correct. We will manipulate this inner text of it. So we'll simply say captcha generator. And I will simply include the custom CSS, guys, as this video is not about CSS. So what I will do, I will simply paste it. You will basically find all this code in the description. So you need to simply make a simple style tag right here and paste all the style sheet. So once you do this, you will actually end up with this interface. Here you enter your captcha. This is check captcha button and generate new captcha. So here we need to generate a new captcha. When we click the generate new button, so now we need to make this function. So when we click generate button, we need to make this function which will be responsible for generating a new captcha. Now for creating a new captcha, we will basically need to get the first character. So the first character can be obtained by alphabets, and inside this we will use some math function for randomness. For randomly selecting characters, we will using math.floor, and inside this we will again use some more random functions, math.random multiplied by. And for selecting the characters, guys, you can use any formula. It is not that whatever I am writing this code you need to copy this. You can use your own randomness formula to generate characters. So using this formula, it will generate a random character to us that we need. And similarly, we will generate the second character by using any other formula. And in the same way, we will actually generate 6 characters in the same way that we generated the first character. So similar way, second character will be generated, then the third character, fourth, fifth, sixth. So the 6 characters will comprise a single captcha. And now we need to create that captcha by simply concatenating all these 6 characters. So we need to convert all these characters to string by using toString method like this. So in this way you can convert everything to character. So you can see we have converted all these random captchas generated characters to string, and now we can actually show that captcha. So we can simply say target that element which has this ID, and then manipulate the value parameter and just equal to the generated captcha like this. And also the entered captcha, I will reset that to nothing so that the user can enter the value like this. So that's all that we need to do, and also we need to change the inner text of the status. So you simply say status dot inner text is equal to captcha generator. So now if you click that generate new button, guys, like this, a new captcha will be generated every time. So a unique randomness every time when we click the generate new option, a random captcha has been generated right here. So also what we need to do when we load the application, we need to have a captcha already present, and for that we can actually bind a body event handler. So we can directly bind a onload event handler to the body element. So when we load the application for the very first time, we do need to execute this generate function automatically. So automatically when you load the page, you will see a captcha already present. So thereby you don't need to click the generate new button. It will still work when you click the generate new button, but still if you load the application for the very first time, you will see the captcha already present. So that's why we added this property of to directly to the body element, which is this onload event handler, which is actually calling this generate function. And now we need to write the second function, which actually triggers when we click this check button in order to check the captcha, cross check whatever the user has entered is correct or not. And now we need to define this function. So check function is also a arrow function. So inside this function, we will actually compare the values of both the captchas. So what the user submits is present in the reference of this, which is entered captcha. We given this ID. We need to get the value first of all. So after we get this value, we will actually compare it. So if user value matches the captcha, in this scenario, you will simply say you are correct, and you will simply say correct. So if those values doesn't match with each other, in that case, the status will say that it's incorrect, try again. Like this, and we also need to reset the entered captcha in this to the value to nothing, like this. So this is actually the function, guys, and if you now refresh, if you just type your incorrect captcha, click on this button, you will actually see try again, the captcha is incorrect. So if I once again write the correct captcha, Z65OG7, so click on this check captcha. Now you will see correct. Your captcha entered is correct. So in this way, guys, you can actually make a random captcha generator inside HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. All the source code that I use in this video is given in the description. So please hit that like button, subscribe the channel, and do check out my website freemediatools.com, which is a random tools website that I developed, which contains thousands of free tools related to audio, video, and image. So do check out this website, and I will be seeing you in the next video.